Time. Hi everyone, I'm Bridget Peoples. Welcome to my channel. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Jen and Lauren with Heart's Compass Metaphysical Store in Independence, Oregon. Welcome, ladies.
Hi, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So today I would love for Lauren and Jen to share some of their journey and how they got here and why they opened a store. They also have a really special treat, and we'll talk about that a little bit later at what they offer in their store. So thank you, ladies. What got you girls started?
I'll let her go first because she started first.
There you go. All right, Lauren, take it away.
Thank you, Bridget. Like so many people, I was actually on my own healing journey. I had a software development company that I ran for almost 20 years, and I got burnt out.
Yep.
And I started my own healing journey. I had some experiences as a teenager with mediumship, with doing with psychic abilities, and as so many young people do when they don't have the support, put it away for a number of years. And then about the time I turned 40, it started coming back out again, and I started on my healing journey, and was really led to develop and open up more, develop my abilities and open up more. I found a wonderful teacher and mentor who helped me explore what my gifts were. And it just grew from there. And I decided at one point that this is what I wanted to do with the next stage of my life. So I began seeing clients. I'm a Reiki master. I explored the mediumship and, working with crystals, and just allowed it to grow until, at one particular psychic fair in Pensacola, Florida, I met this lovely lady. She came for a psychic reading with me. I used oracle cards and rune stones, and it was quite an interesting reading. It was the most interesting reading I'd ever done.
I bet. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was quite interesting to have an archangel appear and do a face palm. So it was.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What was that like? That's kind of cool.
It was quite interesting. I said, well, that's a first for me. And we at additional psychic fairs, she began, she would come and get a reading, and then we became friends.
Yeah.
And that friendship grew into an authentic friendship. Nice. And come to find out, she was on a similar path of healing and growth. And I'll let her give how she came to her.
Yes, I think that's funny that you ladies met at a psychic fair. That's awesome.
So there I was, 14 years into military, at a really low point. I was getting ready to come home from a deployment, 1-year tour in Iraq, and decided that I couldn't do the same thing anymore. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Exactly.
So so instead of booking a massage, which I normally did when I would go back to my hometown, I remembered that a friend of mine who was a naturopath going through school, she said, Jen, there's this really cool thing, you should try it. So there I am in Iraq, and I put in my hometown, and the word Reiki pops into my head. I don't even know how to spell it, but it went in, and lo and behold, there was a store in my hometown that had Reiki. And I'm like, what is Reiki?
Right.
What is this? Why did she think I needed this? Come to find out, she meant Rolfing, not Reiki. She meant Rolfing. It was another R word, but my guy got that amount into my head, and nope, not earmuffs. You want Reiki, not Rolfing. And so I called from Iraq and booked an appointment. The little gal on the phone who answered it,
Mhm.
so sweet, and she's like,
Oh,
I'm talking to somebody in Iraq. This is really great.
that's
But,
awesome.
so I show up and I get in the chair, and Joe from Ways to Wellness in Midland, Michigan. They have a store in Midland, Michigan and Traverse City, and they're
Yes.
awesome. And our store kind of goes along with theirs because I spent a lot of time there on my
Oh,
leave. Um,
very cool.
so I sat in the chair and she said, just breathe. I said, all we gotta do is breathe. She said, just breathe. Okay,
Mhm.
I can breathe. She put her hands on me. I couldn't breathe.
Really?
I literally
Oh.
couldn't take a breath. It was like,
Oh my God.
and come to find out, it was one of my guides sitting on me.
Oh my God.
Later, she told me, she's like, I finally got her into this chair. She ain't getting up till I'm done with it. You know? So
it works that way too.
it does work that way.
It does work that way.
So I had Reiki on a Monday. I had my
Uh-huh.
first psychic reading with not her, but somebody else on a Thursday.
Mhm.
Saturday and Sunday, I took Reiki 1 and 2, and Monday I was back on a plane to Iraq. So
Oh my God.
I used it for self-healing for a number of years.
Uh-huh. Oh wow.
I was 40, by the way, just
At the time. Okay.
at the time when this opening happened. Imagine how that
Wow.
goes.
Oh, I do.
And then I, kind of explored while the rest of my time in the military, dabbled in, they did shamanism and hypnotherapy. And I just kind of read and absorbed a lot of different things, not really
Yeah.
getting into any one, and just started blending it. In the meantime, I became a Reiki master as well. And then in Pensacola, Florida, my last duty station, she was there, and yeah, she's the real deal.
Yeah.
I'm a cold read from my POW training. So,
Oh my
when somebody can
God.
nail it, and I'm not giving them anything to work with.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
I would have
it's the
hated
real
to
deal.
read you first. Not knowing, I'd been like, I could just see them. I'm giving you nothing. Mm-mm.
This is true.
Yes, yes,
True.
yes.
I can confirm she is
Yeah.
a completely cold read. And oddly enough, I prefer those.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I do too.
Because then you're listening more. You're more
Yes.
tuned in and less paying attention
Yes.
to their reaction.
Yeah.
And obviously our friendship ended up growing, and we got married 5
awesome.
years ago Sunday.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Yeah,
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. Yay.
And we took an epic road trip together with 2 cats, a dog, and an 18-foot camper.
Oh my goodness. That's small camper.
Yep.
Yes.
26 states, 13,000 miles in 80 days.
Oh my God.
And we still got married.
And we still got married. That was my terminal leave. So
right. Yeah. That's when you go, will this work? If it works for that, then you know it's gonna last.
Yeah.
Especially because I have a motorhome, and I gotta tell you, it's longer than 18 feet, and it gets a little tight, especially when you add animals and people in it with you. Yeah.
Exactly. And so afterwards, we decided from that trip that we really loved the Pacific Northwest, and that's where we wanted to move. And so we moved out here. We did a year in Tacoma. Realized that we're not urbanites. Bought another camper, a larger one this time. And
that's good.
Yeah. Spent some time as Oregon State Park hosts while we looked for a place that we wanted to settle, that we wanted to put down roots. During that time, we started doing festivals up and down the I-5 corridor from Portland down to Eugene, and really developed a following because we had have a passion for educating individuals as well as making the tools available, regardless of their level. So that's what we're so passionate about. As a matter of fact, we came up with the tagline, guides and outfitters for your life journey.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, because we're not going to do the work for you, but we're happy to provide the tools, to provide training, to provide guidance. as you move along your path, regardless of
Yeah.
where you are in your journey, because we
Yes.
work with individuals who have no idea, who are just beginning their exploration. And we also really love working with existing practitioners and light workers, helping them explore where they can go next.
Oh, absolutely.
That
I'm right
professional
there
growth.
with you. Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard because like you, when I started, in my 30s, I mean, I always was psychic as a child. I always knew things, and I always avoided getting arrested and all the big trouble because I always knew. I was like, no. And as I got older and I hit my 30s, I call it at 33 Christ conscious. So, but I needed a sign, and I had no mentorship, no nothing. Because back then, 20 years ago in Salem, if you said that you were a medium or a psychic, they could arrest you. So it's come a long way. Yeah. And so I had no one either, like you, Lauren, and it's just like, how do you do this? Of course, I've done a lot of self, classes and different things. I do have my CHT and NLP as well. Just learning where I needed to go. So I'm so grateful that you guys do offer classes. I do classes too, but mine are a little different. I'm looking for someone who's a little more kind of medium, middle of the road, versus beginner, because with the beginners, for me, with my timeline, I don't have a lot of extra time. I do help them though, and I try to network with others that I think would be a better fit than myself for classes. So I was so excited when I heard about you guys and your lovely, I got to write this down. Let's see, quantum resonance crystal bed.
Yes.
And I hope I said that right. Yay!
Yes.
I just absolutely, when I saw that, a wonderful friend, Brian Benson, had posted it, and I thought, oh, I've got to go there. And I'm like, I don't even go to Independence because there was never anything there, but that is the cutest town, you guys. It is amazing there. The restaurants are good too. So I had an experience in that bed, and I got to tell you, I did the space travel. It was interesting because I'll have you guys describe how it's set up, and then I'll share my experience after that. So if one of you want to describe that bed, I encourage everyone to try it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's actually funny how the bed came to us even. So we were, going to basically try to make one, like off of, buying the parts. And we've seen people make a crystal light bed. And yep, it does the chakra lights and but I'm not an electrical engineer, and I was trying to figure out how to make it work. I know the crystals. So, so I was just kind of like, how can I make it not look cheesy, the craftsmanship, that sort of thing. And believe it or not, COVID actually helped us in this because, we've been a business for, 5 years now.
5 years.
And,
really?
Grants are available for people who've been impacted. So when all the festivals and markets shut down, we were impacted. We had to try to figure out how to get our product out there. Etsy was, a little bit, but anyway, we applied for and got grants.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
did you already have your store though?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the grants actually got us not only a location, but then we said, well, we built 2, we call them treatment rooms and, maybe guest readers, maybe Reiki, we wanted to be pretty flexible. So they're set up similarly. But we decided we got this grant that we didn't expect. And we went, well, we should
just buy one.
Buy one
instead of making it. So
that's a great choice.
I did the I typed, did a Google search, and
oh, really?
Okay. You can get crystal light beds for a couple grand on Etsy or what, even Amazon has them, but they're just light beds. They're just light beds. And then this quantum resonance bed popped up, and I read about it, and I went, it's a lot more than $2,000, by the way.
Yes. I would hope so. It's really nice. So
yes,
really cool.
It was developed by a guy, husband and wife team. He's the 50-pound head engineer guy, and she's the intuitive, the one who feels into the music that comes with it. And anyway, Yeah, we saw that and we looked at each other and we went, oh, that's it right there.
Now,
Gotta have it.
the interesting fact is, in all the research that we had done before on the light beds, this had never popped up. It had never come
Oh,
across. Even though they have been doing
interesting.
this for 8-9 years,
Yeah.
this had never popped up until
Oh,
the money was made available.
right. And that's always
once
how it
we had the
works.
money, and then it popped up. It's like, okay, now's the time.
Now's the time.
Now's
Oh
the
yes,
time.
timing, as you both know, is everything, you know, and
Yes.
I'm one of the firmest believers that if you put it out there, it'll show up. You just got to put it out there and apply yourself and have faith, you know, sprinkle a little faith on there, because the spirit will give you grace, you know, all day
Yes,
long.
exactly.
And
Or include the phrase "or something better."
or something better. Yes. Well,
When
I
you,
always
when you
make
ask
the
for
mistake,
something, use the phrase "or something better"
something
because
better.
that's how
remember
we
that.
got this.
That's right, or something better. Exactly. I got to write that down, or something better. I will write that down. The
This
reason
is
for
something
it
better.
is or something better. So I've always done, you know, I want to make 10,000 a month. I see my money double every paycheck because I used to be a private investigator. So every check would double and I got to 10,000 a month,
Nice.
singular. So that October, General Electric is how I used to do. I was an independent contractor for them, and they took their whole platform over to India. So everybody, 1,700 people got laid off, and I was independent. I still made more than, so I got to save a lot of that up, and I just bought another business. But I learned that lesson, and it took me years to realize that I said a month because it just wasn't the timing, you know. And so that's kind of where I am, or something better. I'm writing that down because if I don't, right?
Or something
Yes,
better.
it's like, yeah, or something better. Yes, I got that. I love your guys' bed though, because I think you'll explain a little bit more how that works. But my experience was I got to listen to the music and the headset. It was very calming. It was peaceful. It was the right temperature in the room, you know, to be able to get comfortable. And just having that journey of the different lights that went through my third eye and the light combinations was really incredible. And I think I had told Jenn after that, there was these black and yellows, and I've never really seen those colors in the physical world, you know, super cool. And then these purples and whites would just come out of nowhere as well with the different song patterns. So I thought that was really amazing. So I'm looking forward to going again and again and again, you know. You'll see me a lot, I'm sure.
Yes.
My
Awesome.
husband's gonna be like, what's this heart's compass? Like your statements. So I said he needs to go down there too, but I don't know if I'll try to drag him someday and see if I can get him to go try it at least, you know. But I do feel better. I will say that. The other thing was energetically, I have a medical condition I've had for a long time. I'm weaning myself off of a medication that I've been on for years and years, and I really haven't had the withdrawal symptoms. And I've tried getting off this medication before, but after 15 years, and it's a pretty strong narcotic, that I'm down to like 3 pills only, and I'm not having the what's the word I'm looking for, the withdrawal, the sickness and the withdrawal from it. Between that and my natural vitamins that I'm doing, you know, it's a lot better. But could you explain, Jenn, how the bed works for us?
Sure. Well, like I said, it's not just a light bed. That's why we just call it a crystal bed, because it does take lights, obviously. And we have upgraded the crystals that come with the bed to 33-sided Vogel crystals. So it provides even more scalar energy, which I'll talk about later. But basically more power, you know, more power. Exactly.
Everyone loves more power.
If you're gonna go big, right?
Go home.
If you can do 24-sided, why not do 33-sided? Go big.
Exactly. I agree with you.
Yeah. But this bed takes basically an entrainment process, which it's done through the music and the tones. It takes vibrations. It takes frequencies, both the light, the scalar, the magnetics. It takes the scalar energy, which I should probably talk about that now since I've said it a number of times. The reason most people haven't heard of scalar energy is because it can't be measured by definition. It is 0-point energy. So it is where frequencies cancel each other out. So
Okay.
Exactly. So that's why you don't hear about it in science class, because you can't measure it. It's
No.
the best analogy is noise canceling headphones. It's
Yeah.
along the same principle. It cancels out other frequencies. So from the 0 point, I like to kind of twist that. It's also the point of infinite potential. From
Yeah.
that 0 point, that place that can't be measured, you can go in any direction. You can go
That's
and
awesome.
do in any direction. So
And that's where the mastering is going to come in, I think. Do you think that people should set intentions prior to going on the bed?
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
this bed really just creates the environment for homeostasis, for the 0 point, for you to incubate, if you will. And without intention, you're going to have a nice meditation, and you're going to go through some brain states, and you're going to do some things. But for change to happen, you have to pick a direction. You have to choose what direction you want in your life.
Yeah.
And that's what your intention is. We were just talking about how it takes neural patterns. Whole brain state is what this bed will do through the sound, through the light, through the scalar. And that's it's basically helping your brain find new and better ways, new and better neural pathways, instead of running through the same wagon trail rut, the Oregon Trail. We're out here at the end of it. The wagons all went down the same, and when they just wore these grooves in, well, we do the same thing with our thought processes. It's the same thought, the same, you think the same habits, the same, and it's really hard to break out of that. And we were just talking this morning about addictions and how that comes into play.
Oh yeah.
And how this bed is really helping. And she got some insight from above on that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, because my medication I've been on, it pretty much is an addiction, because you've taken it for so long. If you don't have it, you just don't function.
Yeah.
And so even though people are like, oh, you're addicted to it. Well, I'm not, it's not like you're feeling or looking for it. It's just, you have to have it at this time and this time in order to maintain, versus, but it's still an addictive personality type. You know what I mean? Even though you need it for any medication you take, just like my blood pressure, but with this, because it is a narcotic now, they classify it as that, and it is for pain management, it's still, it's breaking that cycle. And so that's the part I'm at in between your this amazing light bed and some other stuff I'm doing. I'm able to finally break that chain after, like I said, 15 years. So it's been a long time, and I'm hoping that with continuing, the therapy bed and the other stuff I'm doing, that I'm able to get to that place where I don't have any pain, and I can just continue to move forward and continue on my journey as a spiritualist as well. So I just think it's incredible that you ladies got that, and that it's here in the Northwest. That's local. That's so cool.
Yes.
It's so cool. Because I think the next closest thing that I'm aware of is like in Washington, in Vancouver. And I'm like, it's 3 hours up, round trip, at least for me that I know of, right? Because I don't know everybody in this field. I know a lot of people, but I'm branching out more and more, because like you ladies, Spirit said, do it. They just said, start interviewing people. I was sitting there on a Tuesday, and I'm like, okay. So I just post a little post, all these people started reaching out from everywhere. And so I got a bunch of editing to do still, but I'm just like, I want to do local and just everywhere. I want people to be enlightened, educated. And if this brings droves of people to your store, that's going to be great, because that means you guys will be there a long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what we want. We want to support people that are doing what we do in this field. And I know you ladies also do Reiki. I've done my Reiki 1. You guys can laugh. Probably 20 years ago. And I don't practice it, and I've also done some shaman classes or shamanic classes, and I've gotten my rights, and that's about it. And it's funny because Spirit will go, okay, here's your taste, move on. Okay, here's your taste, move on. Here's your taste, move on. So all the little different things, but when I'm not feeling well, they just take my hands and just kind of go wherever the healing needs to be, even in that bed. And Jenn, you talked about that zero space. of consciousness, that I noticed is when the colors changed. I knew when I hit that point immediately because it went like this beautiful white purple color versus multiple colors, right? It just literally just like went like a light opening up, and it was solid. And I was like, oh, I'm there. And then of course it went back to things because my brain was doing all kinds of stuff when I realized that point, and I thought, oh, next time. So it was really cool. It was very cool. So I really enjoyed it. So, and you ladies also said that you do Reiki classes. So do you do all levels for Reiki?
Yes.
You do.
As a matter of fact, this past weekend, I did 2 different Reiki 1 classes.
Okay.
So we have a whole new bunch starting their journey.
Oh, that is so cool. I think the more enlightened people can be, the less friction and division we're going to have as a country and as a society. So I'm excited about that. There's a lot of people that, of course, poo-poo what we do, which that's fine. Whatever. They're float your boat. You do you, I do me. We're good. And just having that common ground. And I think the younger that we can work with them and educate them, I think the better we're going to be, as far as the division that's going on right now. But I do want to ask, will children be able to use this bed?
With a parent present. We prefer at this time for everyone to be 18 or older. 16 or older. We could do 16 or older. But it is
case by case
exceptions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Case. Certainly we'll talk over it with the parent and if they would like to try it, absolutely. The child would have to be old enough to be able to express their intention.
Oh, okay.
And understand what is intention and be able to express that.
Yes.
Okay.
Outside of, we'll just say, parent guardian influence, because sometimes they'll say just what they think. Yeah.
Yes.
And, and about borrowed beliefs and all that. So we just want to make sure that they're willing to voice their own intentions.
Absolutely. Well, I wonder too if it would help kids that have trouble concentrating. Because I have a 9-year-old grandson that is now diagnosed with Tourette's, but he's very intelligent. And the 13-year-old is also, they get it though. I mean, they see spirit and stuff too, but like you said, they need to articulate. But I'm wondering if this would be a beneficial thing for because they practice yoga and meditation. So I wonder, and they like to do this because it helps calm for them for school. So that's why I was asking for a school kind of thing. What your thoughts were.
We also have a number of young people who come in regularly to the store, and we do talk with them again, parental permission and age appropriate, about ways that they can use energy on themselves, the benefits of the crystals, the benefits of breathing. And there are a lot of other tools that we help the young people with, because we have parents bring their kids in often. Can you help them with, and we talk to them, and we work with the children directly, again with the parents' supervision.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want them thinking that you're doing something with their kids, something woo woo.
Right.
No. That word woo woo, that's what my husband, he says a woo woo. And the kids.
It's amazing how open the children are, and once they become comfortable with us, then they open up and they share, this is what I see, this is what I've experienced. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you. Let's talk about it. Let's explore it. And then we find ways to help them feel empowered.
Good. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. There's so many of them, like myself as a kid, I just, like you, it was like, what is this? I never shut it down. I just kind of just thought I was going crazy when it really started ramping up in my early 30s, Up until then, I just thought it was, it's, no big deal. It's just it's just a coincidence type thing, but I always listened to it. I mean, I always was very good about listening to my gut. It saved my life numerous times, probably yours as well. And listening to that voice. So I've tried with my own children. I have 4 kids. They're all adults, but to impact them and empower them with their gifts. 2 of them see spirit, like they're you and I sitting here. I don't want to see them that way, but they do. And then one's a healer, a natural, just puts his hands on you. And I would love, he probably should come visit you ladies. He's 30, take some classes as an empath and an inner, just a healer. He picks up other people's stuff,
Yeah.
And I really think that even though I tell him I'm still mom, and I would rather he learn from somebody else, but I will literally, he goes to the emergency room. He's like a frequent flyer, at least he was. And you know how they usually think they're drug seeking? No, he literally was having these experiences and they were all psychic attacks. And he just didn't understand that. And so it's always good because when it's mom,
Yes. I have a daughter. I have a 31-year-old daughter who
perfect.
I would tell her, and it's like, okay, mom.
Yeah,
Somebody
my
else
kids
comes along and tells her the same thing, and it's, did you know?
Yes. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Oh yeah, I've had the kids when we would have I would have lots of people come over for readings or hypno over the years, so the kids have grown up around it,
Right.
And one of their friends too, and he totally goes, even though I grew up pretty much in my house because he was never at his home, when he got a couple of years ago, they're now 25, him and my son, my youngest. And I said, by the way, your grandma and your uncle here. And I started giving him information and his mouth just drops down. He's like, I always knew that you read for people, but I didn't realize that you really know what you're talking about, that you're actually talking to them, And I started laughing. I go, what do you think? I was crazy. He goes, well, it crossed my mind. And I started laughing. I go, no. I saw it. So it was so funny. But I'm like you ladies, I'd rather read someone that's stoic, that I don't know at all. Those are the best, most authentic, especially when it's family. I'd rather send them to people like you ladies because honestly, I don't want them, and you probably feel the same way with your daughter, Lauren, that you don't want them thinking that you're trying to force your opinion on them,
Yep,
and so
exactly.
I'm real careful about that. Yeah, I am.
Well, the other thing that we're doing with this is not only the crystal light bed, but if you're having problems with your intention, you could go get a reading with Lauren first and talk to your guides about what's the highest thing, because we think that we need, whatever, to lose weight, to heal, to do whatever, and it may not be the highest thing, and your guides can give you some, no, you're in this season for a reason.
Yes.
Here's what you can do to help build your foundation for when you come out the other side. But no, you've got to go through this because it's how you grow. It's like the caterpillar becoming a butterfly. If you help it get out of the cocoon, it can't fly. If you try to, it's through the struggle that it gets the wings. So
that's so true. And that's so beautifully said, I have to tell you, because so many people will come to me, why can't I have it now? Why can't I have it now? And just like you ladies, I too, we've all had to struggle, through this and learning on our own. But a lot of people are like, well, I just want to go. And I was the same way. I wanted to just have it open and there it be, but I realized that the pieces of this puzzle had to fit and the timing had to fit, this sadly is the time. It just happens to be COVID, and I'm just like, okay, I know there's a lot coming. I can feel it. I can see it, just like you ladies,
Right.
A lot of us, but they're still, it's almost like they're hiding the veil, behind the veil still. There's some things that they're not showing us. But whenever I ask people, my guides have, something for me that I need to be doing, never gives me a direct answer. Oh, you know what it is? I'm like, that's not the answer I'm looking for. I get it all the time though. It's like people will tell me, oh, you already know. And I'm like, if I knew, I wouldn't be asking, it's like,
Exactly.
So I'm really picky on who reads for me too. Like you guys probably are, you ladies are,
yes.
I won't let just anyone read for me. I'm really selective. Yeah, I have to be.
Funny because the first real reading I had from her, for her outside of a psychic sit down thing, I was like, she's connecting, guides are like, you need to do, and I'm like, okay, I need a list. And they're like, get a paper and pencil. And they gave me an honest to goodness list.
See, I've tried that too.
These are the things that you need to do. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So she leaves that reading with her list in hand, right?
Oh.
And she calls me 2 weeks later and says, okay, I'm done with that list. What's next? And I
went, wish everyone was that way.
I knew what was, I knew what was on that list. So it was like, and so I reached out to her guides and I went, yeah, okay, is she really done with the list? And they went, oh yes, Jenn, she's done.
Wow.
She's ready for the next step.
That's amazing, because that's a feat in itself, as you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Jenn, it really is. It's a feat in itself. Life gets in the way so many times that we cannot get it done in that time. And then we have other, avenues that we go down. So, I have my pen and paper, believe me. So it's like, but yeah, they don't always give me my list. They'll give me stuff for other people. But it's just like Brian and last night told me, you're standing in front of the forest, you don't see all the trees. I go, exactly. And I think that's why there's certain people. And of course, I always don't tell people that I do what I do, especially if they're a medium or say they are, it's not that I want to trick them. I just want to see what they're going to authentically get instead of talking shop,
Right.
You guys understand this. So It's like, okay, so I try to do that. And Lawson just right out the door, I was like, and my son just happened to be home and sitting in the background, kind of listening, and he picked up the names of my mother-in-law, just everything. And he did read a little bit of the energy wrong. He said, there's all these people around your son. It's like a celebration. No, actually it was a head-on collision. So yes, there was a lot of people around. So, reading that energy a little different, but we have to, there's excitement, there's all this energy, there's all these people. So yeah, we're going to sometimes get it wrong, but everything else he had was just spot on, So I love those guys. They're pretty cool too. But they, like I said, they sent me your direction and I'm excited. Do you guys have a website that I know we're going to share, but if you want to tell people what it is and how they can get in contact with you?
Sure. Our website is heartscompass.com.
See how easy that is.
Everyone have a Facebook page that is, again, you can find us, just type in Hearts Compass. And we were able to get that for our Facebook page as well. A lot of our information and events are posted on Facebook. You can schedule a session with the quantum resonance crystal bed through our either our Facebook page or our website. So it's all fairly intuitive. I hope you found it fairly intuitive to click on the book now and select your date and time.
I have questions after we're offline on that one for me.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for taking the time to talk with me tonight. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to, be a regular for the crystal bed, and also just let other people know how amazing it is and have them come try it. It's definitely worth the drive. I will say that.
Sure. And awesome. 12 pages of information is on our website too. I've kind of made it into common language. But it's there. It goes through everything: the light, the sound, the vibration, the why everything is working together. And
I'm gonna go read it. Actually,
it really explains the science behind it.
Absolutely. And
and that's on your website.
About the sound and what it's doing to your brain. This is science stuff right there.
I'm actually gonna go read that now. It's on the website.
It is.
There is a link on the website.
Yeah.
I'm excited. All right. Well, thank you ladies so much for your time. I'm just so excited to meet you and be able to be on my next part of my journey with you guys.
Yay. Excellent. Thank you, Bridget. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you.